you're back. Hey, how'd it go?
How did what go?
Your meeting with Finn. Was he able to help?
No. No, he did not. I walked into his lab, and he acted like I was crazy. Not only was this a complete waste of time, it was a complete embarrassment.
Oh. Well, sorry, dude. I thought for sure that he could help.
Also, he was an engineer, so I have no idea how he was supposed to help me in the first place. In fact, this entire Mage's Quest has just been one fuck-up after another. Everything I do to research magic ends in failure, I nearly get killed by Demon Me, and I still don't know what I'm supposed to be! Actually, you know what?
What are you doing?
Hey everyone, we're on a theme here! Top 10 fuck-ups of the show, let's go!
Better.
Better.
Just go play with Leia or something. I want to focus on this.
Whatever. Leia!
Hello and welcome to The Book Was Better, where we're watching today's movies one book at a time. Except for this episode, in which we're not reading or watching anything. Damn it, 5 seconds in and I've already fucked this up. I've come a long way since I've started this show 3 years ago. I've cut my hair. I've added about 250 books and around 50 DVDs to my collections, and I move so often it's like I'm hiding from the government. But I didn't get here by good looks and sardonic wit alone. I did it after fucking up. A lot. More to the point, I learned from my mistakes. This is an important lesson not only for writers and creators, but for functioning adults. And let me tell you, I fuck up something in every episode. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, but at least one person is bound to point it out in the comments section. Sometimes ad nauseum. Thanks for that. I don't really take offense to this, though. I mean, constructive criticism is one of the most important things a writer can receive. They can build on past experience and come away with a stronger product. I'd like to think I have. And there are all sorts of mistakes we can all relate to. Calling a friend by the wrong name. Writing the wrong date on a form. Not giving your cat enough belly rubs. Hiring the wrong gender prostitute for your friend's bachelor party. Sorry, dude. My point is, mistakes are part of life, and like it or not, I'm gonna keep making them. And hopefully you guys will be there with me, having fun along the way. When I first started the show, I was really just goofing off and trying to promote my first book, as you can see by the numerous references to it in the first few episodes. But I kept at it, and now I have something of a regular schedule, posting new reviews every week. Persistence can pay off. However, I think it's important to reflect upon the lessons I've learned, and then make fun of myself for your entertainment. So I've compiled the list of all the mistakes I've made during season 1 of the show, from Golden Compass to Twilight. And we're gonna go through the top 10. So, with that intro out of the way, let's get into the top 10 fuck-ups of The Book Was Better season 1. There's gonna be a lot of self-deprecating humor in this.
I fucked up again. I know you don't want to hear I'm sorry, but I hope you know I am. And I don't know why I do what I do, or put you through what I put you through, but I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 10. My scripts keep popping up. Okay, so we're starting off easy with this list. Most of the mistakes on this list are research mistakes, but I have made others. The more observant of you will notice that I'll sometimes move a book or DVD out of place while filming an episode and will forget to put it back correctly. No one has pointed this out yet, but trust me, it happens. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Every now and then, I'll forget to move my script out of the way, or I think it's out of the camera shot when it really isn't. This isn't a big deal, I think, but I'm such a perfectionist that it still bothers me. Anyway, this one was small, but don't worry, they do get better.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 9. Beastly, the one furry joke. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a reason for that. When I write my jokes, I try to be somewhat inclusive, unless it's obvious that I'm joking, in which case everyone's fair game. Isn't that right, everyone who isn't the United States? And the United States. That being said, I broke this rule once and made an awkward joke that amounted to calling furries weird for being furries. It wasn't terribly funny, and when a few people said that it came off more as a dick move than anything else, I ended up pulling it. This is the only time I've pulled an episode, deleted something, and then re-uploaded it. And I've managed to get it early on, so only 100 people or so ever saw it. Hopefully, it'll be the only joke I ever end up pulling.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 8. Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. Being mean with an April Fool's prank. No, wait, that wasn't a mistake. That was hilarious.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 8. The Hobbit. Not including the third movie. Okay, this one was mostly me just trying to get something out in time for the third movie. Those who have been following me for a while might notice that I prefer to save things for special occasions or for when the time is just right. Case in point, releasing my animated Jungle Book review the week before Disney's remake came out. So when the third Hobbit movie was coming out, I wanted to do something special in time with it, but couldn't do a full review since I hadn't seen the third movie yet. So I came up with another solution by writing my first top 10 list comparing the differences between the book and the first two movies. I don't think I put out a bad product per se, which is why this one is so low on the list, but it would have been stronger if I'd included pieces from the third movie. I'm not likely to revisit this and include the Battle of Five Armies on an updated list because the list wouldn't change significantly and I've said my piece. If I ever do another top 10 list, I'm gonna have to put more thought into it. Yeah, except for this one, because I'm mostly fucking around.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 7. Dune. Giving the book a 4 out of 5. Reading books and movies, and especially adaptations, is always a challenge. There are so many elements to consider that I'm still tweaking my process to this day. How much did I like the story, the characters, the prose? What kind of an impact has the book or movie had on popular culture? What's objectively wrong with it? It's a complicated methodology, and by that I mean I often have no idea what I'm really doing. What? Crimson has no idea what he's doing? Shocker! Get out! Going through Dune, I knew that it had a lot of importance on the world of fiction, but I found a lot of the prose as kind of dull and with a slow pace. Looking back at it though, I didn't really have an appreciation for its importance. Consider this my official apology and subsequent correction of the book's score. Dune gets a 5 out of 5.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 6. Starship Troopers. Pretty much the entire approach. Starship Troopers was my third review and was the hardest book to review up to that point. As such, I was still learning about what kind of show I wanted to create and how I wanted to judge things. Originally, the show was dedicated to getting more people to read. Starship Troopers was supposed to be this really advanced novel critiquing the human condition and the military and blah blah blah. Honestly, I wasn't crazy about the book, but I was so new to YouTube that I was worried about how it would be perceived if I said the book wasn't great. Additionally, I wasn't crazy about the book since it was nothing that I was prepared for. It was more like reading a textbook than a work of fiction, and I hate how dry textbooks are. I mean, half the novel is spent in boot camp going over various regulations and whatnot, but tied with my last point, I may have written myself into a corner. On top of that, I didn't properly research either the book or the movie, so I wasn't as prepared to write the review as I should have been. Starship Troopers has since become my most downrated video ever, save for the aforementioned Sea of Monsters prank, but again, that was hilarious. So to close, consider these the updated scores for the first Starship Troopers review.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 5. Dune. The Alarm. In Dune, there's this awkward pipe organ alarm that sounds during a few key points in the movie. It was so unlike an alarm that I assumed it was supposed to be awful music. Nothing else really made sense in comparison. Alarms are generally supposed to instill some degree of panic in order to get you to react to them faster. High-pitched, loud, and quick is how you should do it. For example, the alarm from Star Trek. Or Battlestar Galactica. Or even dealing with the police. Hell, even your own alarm clock would be a better example. So when I heard this low, lazy, drawn-out sound, the idea of an alarm never came to me. So yeah, I was wrong, but in my defense, that is a really shitty alarm.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 4. Hogfather. Incorrectly IDing Terry Pratchett.
Okay, I really don't have an excuse for this one.
This one is just straight up not paying attention. I did my research for Hogfather before watching the movie, saw that Terry Pratchett played a shopkeeper, and just assumed that the first shopkeep I saw was him. By the way, that's Terry Pratchett playing the owner of the toy store. This guy is not Terry Pratchett. This is Tony Robinson. I thought that Pratchett had shaved his beard for this part and stopped thinking about it. So much so that I didn't even recognize Pratchett when it's clearly him at the very end of the movie.
Lesson learned though. Always double check your work, and never write a script when you're adjusting your work schedule by a 12-hour difference.
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 3. Green Lantern. Getting Avon Sur's name wrong. This was really a small mistake that happened once, but I wanted to include it higher on the list because of the tagline and the lesson of the episode, do your research. In my Green Lantern review, I accused the production crew of not doing the research with the source material, thus causing the movie to flop. For me to then get an important character's name wrong just seemed almost hypocritical.
He's just rolling along, doing his own thing, when he comes across Amon Sur, the Green Lantern who imprisoned him.
The alien that gave Hal Jordan his ring was named Abin Sur, but I mistakenly called him Amon Sur, who was another character entirely. It's my own fault for trying to take on a comic with as detailed a history as Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. I just wanted to try reviewing a comic to establish myself as an adaptation reviewer of all stripes. Books, comics, video games, and what have you. Instead, I just shot myself in the foot, as a few people were kind enough to point out in the comments.
And speaking of getting flack,
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 2. Percy Jackson. Aphrodite wasn't Zeus's kid. Midway through the episode, I had a joke listing several of Zeus's children, one of which was Aphrodite. What makes this worse is that I even started the episode by talking about the old book of Greek mythology I used to read. Part of this mistake was due to not properly remembering the aforementioned book, because it had been almost 20 years since I last read it, but also by relying on the bastion of semi-correct information, Wikipedia. I managed to find an article listing several of Zeus's kids and just copied and pasted them into my editing software without much consideration. Should I have stopped to put more thought into what I was doing? Sure, but when you have so much to do between working on the show and what I was doing for a day job at the time, it can be easy to miss small details like this. That's not an excuse, of course, just an explanation.
and speaking of fucked up wiki pages,
But I fucked up again. I fucked up again. I fucked up again.
Number 1. Aragon. Aragon and Arya's relationship. Warning, this will contain a spoiler for the inheritance cycle.
how many of you guessed this would be here?
This is perhaps the biggest reason I no longer use any sort of wiki page as a resource. I may use it to get me started, but if I can't support that research on another site, I drop it. Now, why does Wikipedia make a lousy site for research? Because any jackass can come in and edit whatever page they want, which is what I'm convinced happened when I was researching for my second episode, Aragon. Full disclosure, I still haven't finished the inheritance cycle, though I intend to someday. However, I needed to find out what happened between Aragon and Arya for a joke I wanted to write. It seemed obvious they might become a couple, even though they don't, because Arya said Aragon was too young for her, or something. Apparently, some distressed fanboy thought the same thing and altered the wiki page that said they did become a couple. So, since I didn't have any grounds to question such a claim at the time, I included an early joke that I considered making to a running gag involving a spoiler alarm. It didn't turn out to be very funny, and the information was wrong to begin with, so I didn't continue with this particular gag. Probably for the best, because I don't think I'd be very popular if YouTube knew me as that one asshole who spoils books. I considered pulling the episode and re-uploading it, just like the Beastly episode, but the review was my most popular and was getting me a lot of attention. It still is. I've since put an annotation up that retracted this little would-be joke. If I ever upload my episodes elsewhere, I'll likely rewrite this particular segment.
And there we have the top 10 fuck-ups of Season 1. Did you agree with my list? What other brazen errors have I made that I didn't point out? What mistakes will I make in Season 2? Hopefully none, because getting 1,000 messages all saying the same thing gets tedious. Oh my god, has that been Comic Sans the whole time?
Motherfucker!